Hi there guys, Sam here. Welcome to another video where I go through how Ford have sort of combined with VW in a huge £2.6 billion deal in a global alliance between the two companies. So yeah, I'll get straight into the video really. So yes, welcome again to another video. And yeah, if you're not familiar with my channel, I do plenty of fast Ford content on here and plenty of VW content as well. So this sort of news story is bang right up my street, and I'm sure you lot are interested as well. So I'll leave links in the description as well to relevant sites that have kind of mentioned it in particular meticulous detail. But I'm going to kind of go through a little bit of an overview and how kind of exciting that is. You know, two quite giants in the car industry have combined to, yeah, share a few parts and make their lives easier, help with costs, and hopefully be able to get a better product out to us, the consumer. So yeah, let's get straight into talking about it. So first of all, this deal obviously had been talked about for quite a while. It's not something that just came out of the blue, but it's been more announced in the last sort of couple of days. We're on the 4th of June today. And a lot of it is actually, if we start from sort of like the Ford side of it, they're kind of the masters of like pickup trucks and vans. You know, Ford Transit's always been fantastic. Ford Ranger pickup truck around the UK has always been kind of like class leading. You know, if you want like a van and a pickup truck, you generally look towards Ford. Now, Volkswagen have their own stuff. They have like the Amarok and like the Transporter. But ultimately, it costs quite a lot to put investments into these two products. And why not combine and share resources? So that's where it's going to kind of work. And I certainly believe on that side, it's more Ford sharing their sort of knowledge. And essentially, the underpinnings are going to be very, very similar, which is great because it's a great car. You know, the only differences will be a little bit around the shape. You know, each manufacturer is going to maintain its own identity, which is important, and the looks, and certainly the interior, and certainly the tech around that. But how the fundamentals of how the car works is going to be shared, which is really cool. And I've sort of put a little picture just up above about around that. Now, what else is going to be shared? Well, as we know, Volkswagen are putting a lot of money and a lot of investments in electrification. They're moving towards like the ID3 and the ID4 in the future, and they've been pumping in a lot of money into that kind of area. And I think it's kind of been a breath of fresh air for them that's kind of coming out, particularly with the likes of Dieselgate. You know, they want to be kind of like the class leader and the pinnacle kind of company in this kind of area. Now, this costs an awful lot of money, arguably more than the pickups and the vans from Ford. It's a lot of money to develop, and ultimately they have to offset some of those costs. So again, it's going to be sharing that kind of parts across to Ford. Now, you think of like the ID3 and the ID4, it's going to be quite similar to like the shape of like a Ford Focus or something like that. So it'd be Ford's version of the electric version using some of the underpinnings from Volkswagen. And to be honest with you, I think that's kind of the best way to go about it. There's no point of manufacturers putting billions of pounds in, or hundreds of millions of pounds in, or whatever, into developing these things when someone else has kind of done that as well. You know, you're ultimately, cars are very, very similar. They have to maintain certain standards in sort of laws and regulations and safety and, you know, all these kind of bits. And ultimately, they're all very, very similar. You know, you all want the same sort of range. You want the same sort of performance. So particularly in that sort of segment, it really does make sense because not many people are looking for a pickup truck or a transit van to be a top of the range performance car. And it's the same with kind of the electric car. You want it to be nippy, but you want it to get the range. That's the key. And if they can share that, which they are going to in this huge alignment, in this huge alliance, it's really good to see. And frankly, two of my kind of favourite manufacturers, really, real world manufacturers for kind of real day-to-day people. It's really good to see. And I really do feel they'll still be able to maintain their own kind of little quirks and identities between them. So that's really, really cool. As I've said, I'll leave plenty of links in the description for you lot to kind of check over. There's plenty of details around this kind of deal, but that's kind of the main amount to it. But it's certainly something that's going to be lasting quite a while. I think it will secure the future of kind of both companies in some ways because they won't be wasting money, and, you know, they can help each other out in that area. And ultimately, you never know where that might go in the future. You know, a lot of this channel is around stuff like the performance cars, like the Golf R, Focus RS as well, all those kind of like top of the range performance hatches for those cars. Now, could you imagine some sort of alliance between the two? You know, the benefits of, say, like the Volkswagen security, composure, interior, all of that kind of stuff, with like a fast forward fun type package, and to kind of make something work in between then. Now, I love how they each have their own kind of personalities, but actually to combine something would actually make a truly fantastic car. And that's where I think this is kind of going to lead. It's just going to make a really, really good car. And ultimately, they're both at different price points. You know, Volkswagens tend to cost a little more, particularly here in the UK, compared to Fords. And with deals aside as well, you get more of a discount from Ford. So you still have your options to kind of choose from. And you know, like the death of the Focus RS is really, really sad, as I've kind of mentioned in video above, how that's kind of been cancelled. But the Volkswagen Golf R is kind of going on strong, and obviously I'll document that plenty on the channel as well, right up until when it gets released and so forth. But I just think working together is certainly the way to go, and I wanted to share that on the channel. But yeah, really interested to know what you guys think. Do you think it will make a big impact? Do you think there's any negatives towards it all? Obviously, it does. You know, I do feel that a lot of cars are quite similar these days, particularly with all the laws and regulations that have to be kind of adhered to. But I can certainly see a lot more benefits than negatives, to be honest with you, and really interesting to see how it kind of progresses over the years. And yeah, let's see how it works out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on that. So yes, thanks very much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Cheers, guys.